Now, just to give you an idea of the scale of these things, now it's a year and a half ago, Great Southern had an article written about them. Great Southern is the biggest MIS scheme in Australia. Originates from Western Australia. You've got them here. I have the pleasure of doing battle with them in South Rihanna. We're going to do a $4.5 million dairy farm, and that fell through. It's more like $1.4 billion worth of land they now own. Did they have to pay anyone for it? No. And what's really frightening, their cattle scheme, their cattle managed investment scheme, was completely subscribed to within 24 hours. There's a lot of blokes in the mining industry who don't want to pay tax. You know, it's really cute. You buy a cow, and I mean, it just goes, it's Dad and Dave stuff. It really is. Well, it's Disneyland stuff. It's more honourable actually to go and rob a bank than what this stuff's about. But anyway, that's as a cattle producer, it sends shivers down my back. Timber Corp, another really one of the big three. Timber Corp went and really diversified into non-forestry, but still has a very big forestry component. Timber Corp, I noticed last year there was an article written about how, goodness gracious me, we're just about to increase the Australian supply of citrus by a factor of six times as much. Where are the markets? Now, all right, the food supply is in danger, but this is between now and 2050. Is this proper planning? At the same time, the citrus growers are facing other overseas countries dumping their produce. Dumping means selling here below the cost of production. Why do they do it? So that they can knock our blokes out and get the market. One of these MIS companies is involved in buying mango plantations up on the Atherton in Queensland, and the really good producers are looking at deals done with supermarkets to sell below the cost of production to get them out too. Gums, 2010, the wood chip supply is going to increase by a factor of 7. Now, honestly, I think we've got enough wood chips. 80 to 85% of tradable water in the Murray-Darling Basin last year was bought by managed investment schemes, and it's worse this year. And they're buying underground water, and they're buying it at a rate where other people's bores are failing. And the water authorities can't tell you how much water is in the aquifer. In South Australia, in the Coonawarra area, they are looking at annihilation. And that is in the green triangle, and that aquifer is, the water in it is aged between 1 and 2,000 years. That is, you have this enormous reservoir that's collected over 1 or 2,000 years, and we're emptying it out in 100 years. Alright? Trees use a lot of water. I don't want to build a pulp mill over there. Do you get the impression there's a plan? Yeah. The Snowy Hydro scheme, and I was up to my armpits in this. Look, it's not about electricity. The New South Wales government is broke. They're going to try and redo it. They've been trying to sell it again. But if you look at what that scheme is, it is a major, major reservoir which is factored in to the Murray irrigation system. Now, the Snowy Hydro Authority must make 4 water releases a year, and there's a certain quantity. Unless there's a severe drought, then they actually don't have to do any. And they don't own the water, they just control it. Now, they're bad enough. Think of some of the corporates who get hold of it and think how ethical they'd be. And water has to be released at certain times of the year, not just for environmental purposes, but for agricultural as well. And if it doesn't happen, people disappear. Now, I've got members who have cut their vines, etc., to the point where they're going to have 5 or 6 years of no income. I've got members with no water this year, no water last year. They are sitting next to Timber Corp, putting in a gigalitre dam after another, and pumps with diameters like this, 10 or 15 together, pumping water out of the Murray. And the rule used to be in that country, no dams. Sand, it leaks, heat,